Alright, so we're staying 2 nights here to rest our feet. So we promptly decided to go get food and walk around. You know, the challenge in Spain is at this time in which you arrive to cities, everything starts to close and there's nothing to eat except the bars will have like coffee and the bocadillos, like the little sandwiches or the tapas. But after a while you get kind of tired of the same menu, and so we were like, where can we go? We tried to go to a Japanese restaurant that closed at 4 supposedly, but we were unsuccessful in finding it. It was like in a shopping center that was closed at 2:30. So I don't know about that. So now we are going to McDonald's. So whenever you go to McDonald's in another country, they always have stuff on the menu that's not on the menu in the States. And we don't even really eat McDonald's at home. But in other countries, it's kind of fun to see what's on the menu. So Will got, first of all, he got a Cerveza 00, no alcohol on it. And he got a burger that has goat cheese on it. And it looks like it has caramelized onions. Huh?
We'll find out.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. And then for our fries, we got these like seasoned, did we get the wedges?
Yeah.
They're like seasoned wedges. I think they have cheese and seasoning on them.
Good. It's sweet. I don't know if it's the caramelized onions or it's super sweet.
I got a McRoyal Deluxe. I think it's just a cheeseburger with lettuce and tomato.
Drink my beer out of a McDonald's paper cup. Entrance was free yesterday.
Oh, you missed it. We were listening to the Rick Steves, recording, or was it his video? Maybe it was the video.
No, it was a
recording.
podcast.
And he was talking about anyways, on that podcast he was talking about how you know, there's this like, is it really St. James's remains that were found? Were they found conveniently when it was time to have the Crusades? Was this like a political motivation and not like St. James' actual remains, or both? Good morning. Today is the beginning of the last 12 days of the Camino for us. Took a rest day. Now we got 6 days to Sarria, I think. And then from Sarria to the end is where it gets really busy, I guess. Sarria is like where lots of people start from. It's the required starting point to at least get your certificate of completion. So 6 days to Sarria and Sarria to the end.
Here we go.
Okay, while we're walking, I thought I would tell you about a typical day on the Camino. Kind of on average what it's like every day. First thing is, wake up in whatever location you ended up last night and pack up all your stuff, get dressed, go find some coffee.
Yeah.
It's very important to Will, get some coffee. Sometimes if you're staying at a place that has a kitchen, this place has a whole espresso maker to make your espresso, including your grinding your regular and decaf. But we can't seem to find a light switch anywhere. So we're just doing it in the dark with our flashlights. You can heat up water and get instant coffee, or they already have coffee, or sometimes you just go looking for a cafe. There is no cafe that I've seen that's open at 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
It's not like the US.
I was thinking about that while we were walking through Puerto Marin, how I missed the Starbucks being open at 5:30 or whatever. You can go get your big coffee in the
While
morning.
it's still dark, yeah. So that doesn't happen. The earliest I think I've seen is like a 7 o'clock opening. So if you can do the instant, it's cool if you get up early. Our mornings usually involve checking the app. I have Camino Ninja on my phone, and what's yours called? Buen Camino?
Buen Camino, yeah.
So we usually check it and see, okay, how far are we going again? Where's the first coffee?
Yeah.
Or where do we want to take a break? Kind of stuff like that before we head out. And usually when we head out, we're kind of like, where are we going? But you see all these people with their backpacks on, so you're like, that's where we're going.
Yeah, it's interesting. In the mornings, it's like a mass start of a race or something. Like everyone's leaving around the same time. And as the day progresses, we kind of separate from everyone.
Yeah, it's like when you leave, it's much more crowded, and then it thins out, mostly because we're slow, because I'm slow. All right, so for breaks, we usually try to take like 2 to 3 breaks a day, depending on the day. And when we take a break, it could be just like sit on the side of the road with the snacks that we brought. Or it could be like stopping at a cafe, getting a coffee and getting a snack there. Forgot to say breakfast. For breakfast we do like one of 3 things. If the place we're staying has a breakfast included with the price, then we get the breakfast. Or if there's like no breakfast around, kind of, we might get the breakfast at the place we're staying. Like if it's the only place open that early. Otherwise, it might be cheaper just to step outside and get a breakfast at a cafe. And lastly, we might just go to the supermarket the day before, pick up some things to have for breakfast before we set out in the morning. All right, I was gonna talk about other things in a typical day.
Hola, buen camino.
Hola, buen camino.
First thing we do is check into our lodging and take off our shoes and socks. That's a must. Then usually we take turns showering because we're all sweaty, and we put on clean clothes. And then the next thing we do is wash our clothes because we want to wash them early so they're dry by tomorrow.
Nice relaxing room. There's 5 of them. We've counted 5 of them.
And they're in that patio next to...
Right there where my underwear is drying.
And after that, Will likes to take a nap. I usually do some work, social media work, or YouTube editing work.
We also kind of figure out where we are, what our goals are for the day. Like, we're in a town with a store. Do we need to get anything from the store?
Is there anything we need from the pharmacy? Are we running out of something? Stuff like that. And Will often likes to explore, so sometimes if he's doing that, I'll just like stay back and look at where's our next reservation need to be, like where's the place we're gonna stay, just that kind of business stuff. After we've kind of settled all of that stuff, we usually go out and look for something to eat. We're not late night eaters, so we don't do the 7:30, 8 o'clock dinner usually. So we just look for some cafe with like the afternoon stuff. It's like bocadillos, yeah. That's pretty much the day. After that, we go back to the room. We're usually in there by 7:30.
8 o'clock at the latest.
Yeah. Brush our teeth.
Charge all our devices that we're gonna plan on needing for the next day, like the GoPro.
Yeah. Charge everything. Lounge a little. Go to bed.
And just a little note about doing laundry. It's as part of this, you know, only packing a couple days worth of clothes, and it's kind of imperative that they get washed every day. On times where we've taken a block of rest days or a rest day in general, sometimes we'll seek out a laundromat, but for the most part, you just kind of have to hand wash your clothes in the sink and hang them up to dry.
Yeah, we usually look for a radiator, window, something where they'll dry faster. And that's pretty much the day on the Camino. Okay, obviously a typical day is a typical day for us as a couple. We are not doing this as solo people, so the accommodations we choose, the way we choose to eat is because we're a couple and we're doing it together.
Some solo travelers may be more interested in like the communal dining experience or eating the breakfast at the lodging as kind of a communal setting.
Yeah.
Or maybe not.
And also, like, financially, a solo traveler might be picking a lot of albergues because it's like $18 a bed. But, you know, for a few euros more, we can have our own room, which we'd prefer.